What's cooking, everybody? It's your boy Breeze.
And Michael.
And you're now tuned into the hottest upcoming platform for all the hottest upcoming entrepreneurs, business professionals, creatives and entertainers, all of that good stuff, right, around the city. So today, we really digging into the business side, right? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, y'all do too much music, y'all do too much content. All right, we back on business. We standing on business, right? So today we got a very special guest with us. He's a business funding specialist as well as a credit. Well, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Credit specialist. And I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy John Wyck here from Brooklyn, New York. Like my boy said, funding specialist, credit specialist. And yeah, we here.
Wait, why you saying it like that, though?
Listen,
he's like, yo.
If you want to take action.
Because I don't know if I got to see if the mic is touching me, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, if you want to take action, you want to cause a movie, you want to take action, you want to make some movies, you want to take action, hit up my boy John Wyck and not the other guy.
Yo, every time he talks, he's like in a movie, bro. I love that shit.
Yeah, so actually, I forgot to mention, it's definitely a familiar face if y'all really been in tune from the jump.
Yeah.
So we had the brunch vlog, and then we also had the the Road Connections.
Yeah.
He was a guest speaker with us that day as well. So
great gems too.
Yeah, if you're familiar with John Wyck, you definitely know his. If you're familiar with his face, you definitely know who it is, right? So. Yeah. If we could just get like a backstory of how everything started with how you got into your business.
Yeah, so back in 2021, I didn't know anything about credit. So like I reached out to somebody on Instagram to basically, teach me the game on credit. Like how can I start building my credit? And from there, I reached out to him. I tapped into his course. And then I started from his course, and with the information I got from the course, I learned a lot, and I started building my credit in like 3 to 6 months. I got to like a 750 plus credit score, and then from there it was about like just acquiring funding with the credit score. Because if you got good credit but you're not doing nothing with it, it's like what's the point of having good credit? You know what I'm saying? But from there I tapped into his next level one-on-one mentorship. So shout out my boy Glad Credit. That's the person that helped me out. So I tapped in with him on a high level one-on-one mentorship, dropped a heavy ticket for that. And then from there, I funded myself $250,000. And once I funded myself $250,000 and got my credit to where it needs to be, I'm like, yo, I can do the same exact thing for other people, and create a business out of doing what I just did for myself, right? So I became a product, a service of my own testimonial of my own service first. And then I started putting myself out there to give other people the same exact results.
So Glad, I know you're watching this. We waiting on you. I don't know. He hit me up like months ago. He's like, yo, Kings and Queen, when can I get on the episode? I said, all you gotta do is just fill out the e-form. We'll get to you, bro.
Give you that greeting.
Yeah, he gave me the Kings and Queens. I was like, all right.
He got to come see me about that.
Not because you probably didn't know who runs the page. He probably thought it was all three of us, but he was like Kings and Queens. I was just like, bro, just fill out the form. We'll get to you when we can. Right now, things are hectic, but Glad we're waiting for you though.
Yeah, I put in the word for y'all.
I gotta say that what you just explained, a lot of people get so lost in trying to make a business and a hustle quickly. They don't realize that you have to test it on yourself first.
Yeah.
But in order to make something more widespread to people, you have to know it works for yourself, and then do a little trial one with people or whatever. Like Michael Jordan said, I wouldn't ask you to do something I wouldn't do myself. Vince McMahon said that. All these great people that we look up to, that we see in these popular medias say the same thing, and you just said it, and you just did it on yourself. $250,000, bro.
Yeah.
In funding?
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, that's problem solving right there. A lot of people want to get good credit. They want to know what to do with their credit, and you telling them what to do.
Bro,
also too, a lot of people want to get out of bad debt. You're helping them get out of bad debt. There's a lot of problem solving there.
You could flip funding to make, oh my God.
A lot of people don't know how to get business funding. You're the problem solver.
Yeah. Another thing too, like to touch on what you said, is that once you do your own service for yourself first, it gives you the confidence.
Yes.
Right? It gives you the confidence to actually go out there and speak about your brand and speak about your business, because you know what you're telling people works. So once you know that it works because you did it for yourself first, now you could confidently go out there and put your brand and your business out there.
Jesus.
So one thing I'll say too is like you're a very well spoken guy and a very stand up guy, and I even noticed that you didn't even notice. I knew of you, but I didn't know you from the IML days. And you got Diamond back there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were always somebody who was very you always had the image. You know, every time I see a picture of you on a flyer or something, it's always the turtleneck with the turtleneck with the blazer, man. Like the turtleneck with the blazer. It's like you're always very professional. Like you know when people do the Jay-Z, the upside down Jay-Z. So I feel like of course, but I feel like when it comes to like image and whatnot, when it comes to like business professionals, a lot of people always tend to like it's kind of like I seen a joke where they made a joke about taxes. They're like, oh, I don't care how hard you fold your arms, I'm not gonna let you like do my taxes. I'll do it myself. So when it comes to the credit game, like how like put emphasis on how much professionalism means to that.
I love this question.
I feel like it just goes down to like your target audience and like who you're trying to target, because like if you're trying to target people that like, let's say older people, older people will probably care more about, stuff like that, professionalism, suited up and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like you also want to show, that you can switch up at time to time. But I would say for me personally, I'm just being myself, and at times I want to play this role, at times I want to play this role, but at the end of the day, people still know me for being that guy that's going to help them get their business funded. So I would say like your language, is what's more important. Just making sure you know what you're talking about.
That's what.
Just don't go outside looking crazy or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be like suited and booted, tied up and stuff. But just making sure your language is on point. You know what you're talking about.
Even right now with the fit you have on, believe it or not, that still works. And
it does. It gives me vacation, but I feel like he's one of those like rich white guys that just came off a yacht. You feel me? Like
he looked like he
about
was
to get on the yacht after this.
He looked like he was going golfing.
Bro, it's a calm fit.
I kid you not though, but more cleaner you look to people like in like it doesn't have to always necessarily be color coordination, but it has to just look clean and sharp.
Facts.
Bro, all that don't really matter.
He Hispanic too, he got the curly hair.
Cheating ass motherfucker. Bro, I really liked how you said it's the language, because once you lock someone in with just your words and the phrasing, the sentence structuring, bro, it's over. It's over, bro. It's over. So I appreciate that, because we so caught up in image and looking this and looking that. Not, believe it or not, hot take, I'm gonna say this, every day wearing a suit, especially when you don't actually need to, like that's not necessarily necessary in my personal opinion, because it also shows, okay, we know what you look like, we know what you could look like, but where's the rawness, where's the authenticity to you? People fall in love with a character, authenticity, a story about you, and then you win them over with talking, bro, light word, calm, connection secured. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. That's my opinion though, but
Yeah.
I don't want to project.
Yeah, so like we actually have worked with a couple other credit specialists on our show and whatnot. And every time I've worked with one, I've always tried to see like what's like, I've always looked for like what's different, or I always try to think of what I didn't ask. And then I try to ask that with the next person, right? So the first thing we should definitely start off with is just telling the audience like, why is it important to have good credit? And in this case, you're actually dealing with business funding as well. I think, in the past, I think I've dealt with business funders too, but I feel like they were more so like just focus on the credit side. You kind of focus more on the business side. Right. So if you could also specify what's the importance of having the business funding as well.
Yeah, for sure. So first to talk about why it's important to have good credit is because even on the consumer side, let's say you're not trying to use, business funding or anything like that. You don't have a business. Why is good credit important? Well, at the end of the day, you may want to get a car one day. You may want to get a house one day. You may want to get some credit cards or a personal loan one day. And the only way you're going to get that is if you had good credit. Mm-hmm. So also having good credit will help you get a lower interest rates on these loans that you do actually apply for, which means you'll pay lesser money back to the banks, right? Lower interest rates, you pay a little bit less money to the banks. If you have bad credit, you're gonna get a higher interest rate, and now you're paying way more
than what you should be paying.
Than what you should be paying to the bank. So that's like on the consumer side of why you should have good credit. Now, for a business owner, the reason why you want to get business funding, because it's literally a hack to jumpstart and grow your business, at a faster rate than if you was trying to do it with your own capital. just getting access to $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 in as little as 2 weeks to a month is game changing, right? That can literally change the direction of your business and what you can do with that capital. So, you know, a lot of people, they start their business, you know, with their own money. All right, they work a job. You probably work a regular 9-to-5 job, and now you're trying to, you know, save money, put money to the side to be able to fund your business. But your business is just getting by. All right, in order for you to get where you're trying to go to, all right, you go ahead and leverage your funding, still keep your job, work on your business on the side, but now you get that business funding, get that 100K, and now you be able to buy all the equipment, the merchandise, whatever industry you in, you're gonna be able to do what you gotta do at a faster pace, at a faster rate than just trying to do it with your own capital.
And I would even like to add to that, because it's a great thing you're saying. People get so caught up with funding and money. Let's focus on the money aspect. 100K to someone, they be like, oh my God, I had 100K. But also you need a plan too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's focus on the plan.
Right.
And that's the thing. So like, you see how you said jumpstart that business, like it's a hack. It really is a freaking hack, because the most I ever, and I told you this when I met you too in the Royal Connections, I don't know if you remember, but I wish I had someone like you a couple years ago, because sure, the way I can talk, I can get funding like that because it's through connections, because I have a legitimacy factor about me. If I say I'm going to guarantee you $75,000 from a 50K investment, I'm guaranteeing you that money. The thing is, though, it was their money, not mine.
Right.
If I had my own money, and I was funding my business through my credit, at most it was $5,000 on Discover or something, which is cool. But imagine having access to more.
Yeah.
Imagine how many electronics and sneakers I could have moved with more funding.
Right.
And
Not even just that, but imagine what else you could have sold at that point.
Exactly. And new stuff I could add on to inventory. So it really comes down to a plan. And the simple fact is, it's really, really important for people to understand what they want to do, how they want to do it, and how they attempt to execute that plan as well. And funding is a tool. Like you said it best, you want to buy a car, a house, low interest rates, really take the time. You were one of them ones, man. For real.
Another thing I want to elaborate on too is that a lot of people, when they hear the word funding, they think that they're instantly gonna be in debt with this capital.
No.
So I want to like clarify some things for you guys. So basically, there's different credit products. So you have like loans, right, credit cards, and line of credits. So for a new business owner, it's not a smart financial decision for your business to take out any loans, right? Because let's say if they get 100K in loans right now, you're automatically in debt $100,000.
Correct.
You have a fixed monthly payment that you have to pay every single month. You're in debt that 100K. It's not the smartest decision. You have the liquid cash, but if you're not profitable in your business right now, it doesn't make sense to do. Yeah. So you can leverage business credit cards and business lines of credit, because now let's say if you get 100K in business credit cards, you're not in debt $100,000. So you're only gonna be in debt what you're spending and using out of those credit cards. And then you're gonna pay that back over a period amount of time. Another thing too, business credit cards, they have 0% offers for like 9 months, 12 months, 15 months. So you can literally go ahead and get $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 in funding at 0% interest for 9 months, 12 months, 15 months. So now let's say you get 100K in business credit cards, you swipe 20,000 for your business, whatever it is, you have 9 months, 12 months, whatever it is, to pay that money back at no interest at all. Where if you took out a loan, you're gonna automatically start paying interest back to the bank on your first payment. But with business credit cards at 0% interest, you can literally take advantage of that and save most of your capital. So you're getting funding for the same price if you was to spend it out of your own pocket and just pay it back over a period of time.
So tough.
That's true. Yeah, I was gonna say you probably feel tired saying that, because you just was telling Rose that offset. I know Rose. I just said him to go get our next guest, but
where he needs to hear that.
No, that's the last question you asked you. So it's like, you know. Yeah. Well, my personal question I was gonna ask you too. So like, especially, you know, us coming from like, well, actually, one point before I asked that question. So you were mentioning about like, you know, business funding jumpstarting the business.
Right.
It's kind of like with trading, because I know you're also a funded trader as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you got that front load of 6+ figures.
Exactly.
And there, so it's the same feeling out there for all the traders watching, you know, like having that.
Another thing too is like, yo, for the traders out there, right? I trade for prop firms, right? So I'll basically leverage other people's money for trading as well too. So when it comes to taking these challenges, let's say if you was to get business funding, 0% interest credit cards, right? You have
Buy
to
as many
pay
as
for
you
those
need.
challenges. Okay, so you can swipe these business credit cards, pay for these challenges, literally with no money out of your own pocket, and pay that money back later on down the line once you get your withdrawal from your prop firm.
Cause some of y'all be feeling them. Some of y'all be,
Yeah, y'all be
ain't
feeling
nothing
them.
wrong with it though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you feel me? I done blew a couple of my accounts myself. Like, even after I passed, like, I don't. You feel me?
Yeah.
Done some dumb stuff.
Reese,
But
before you ask your question, but I don't want to say this point too. The beautiful thing about people like y'all is that, think about it. Rappers, when they go to labels, they owe money to labels because they have to make that money, that contract that they sign back or whatever. But people like you there's blessed with people like you. So let's say you want to make a music video, right? You don't have the money to do it, but you have great credit, this, that, and the third. Get that funding. You could make your own and then profit off that. Obviously,
that.
get what you need to do after that. But you're profiting off of a successful video because you funded yourself, as opposed to relying on somebody else. And you know how people are kind of weird these days. So if you don't pay back in time, people like to destroy property and stuff like that. I'm just being completely real about this though. And that's what makes this people like you good, because you could fund anybody, obviously with business, obviously as well.
Yeah.
But you could fund creators have businesses, restaurants have businesses, studios have businesses, departments have businesses, sneaker stores have businesses. They probably have businesses too. But the fact of the matter is, you can fund them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they are, as long as you can get funded. That's beautiful to me.
Yeah. It's not like broken down to one specific type of person.
Funding doesn't discriminate.
I like that right there. I'm gonna definitely take that.
All right, copyright. Thank you very much.
So now to my question. So like, I feel like with a lot of business, because you were saying like, for you it's like a service.
Yeah.
Like your business
Facts.
is service based. So it's
Yeah.
like you're trying to do a service, right? And I feel like, being that a lot of businesses are like, I feel like all businesses are service based, but the businesses that are kind of like more like, direct service, like, they tend to, like, don't take it the wrong way. They tend to be like kind of nagging, where it's like, oh, this guy's so repetitive. He keeps talking about all this. It's kind of like when we, bro, think about it. It's kind of like when we was at IML, like, yo, everybody was just sign us, but it's just like, so like, talk about that experience with, why do you feel like people get that connotation of, oh, like, it must be, why is he fiending for me to come get funding and stuff? Like, why do you think people think like that?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know, and I don't really even think about putting energy out onto those people, because I know that there's somebody out there that needs the services. So at the end of the day, regardless of what you do, whatever service you have, keep on talking about it, keep on posting about it, keep on promoting it. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what the naysayers like, yo, just unfollow. Right?
Simple.
Yo, just unfollow. Like, that's literally all you have to do, because at the end of the day, there's gonna be people that want to tap in with you, but they're just not ready yet. But you consistently promoting yourself, eventually later on down the line, they will reach out to you to tap in for your service. All right, so that's what I would have to say about that.
That's good.
Yeah. So like, it kind of reminds me too, like some of the things you said were like things that I heard like at those events or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me too, like I just with the whole like they're not ready yet, but also too, it's just some people just aren't knowledgeable. So it's like if you actually took the time to listen to that reel, to actually get on that webinar, to actually Google it yourself, you would have had you would have found out, oh, what he's doing is like legit. Oh, this is what he's doing. Okay, like it gave you, or even if you just took the time to just say, hey, like, what is this about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or even if they were truthful, I didn't watch your reel. Can you explain this to me?
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Exactly. Because the content is not just to try to get people to tap in and stuff. At the end of the day, it's to provide value.
Provide value.
Right? To provide value, give valuable information. Because at the end of the day, you watch any of my reels that's related to what I do, you're going to take something away from that. That could be put in your back pocket and used at a later point in time in your life and stuff. Now, if that piques your interest enough to want to go ahead and reach out to me, then, let's work. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. So
the key is to get them addicted to your page without manipulating them to get addicted. That's the key of content at the end of the day. You want to provide value, or you want to provide something that people can take away from it and be like, I want more of this. Then you go to the next video. I want more of this. Now they're reaching out. hey man, I really have a big fan of your work. I'd like to have a conversation with you, and boom, a connection is formed. That's literally how these stuff works. Yep. And you had a question, or because I was gonna ask a question.
No, I mean, I actually had it wasn't a question, but it was more of a point I was gonna make. But
Okay,
if you had a question, go ahead.
Okay, so listen here. All right, so you do business funding. What has been the most surprising connection you have funded that has also led to another surprising connection you had funded?
What do you mean by like surprising connection?
So like a business you never even thought you probably would probably even fund. Bingo.
That's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't say like I get surprised for like the type of businesses that I fund, because I know like what I do, I'm looking to fund any type of business.
Yes, exactly.
But I've funded like people that do lashes, people that do car rentals.
Good, that's good.
Real estate investors, traders. Good. So like it wasn't anything that was like surprising, like, this is a weird type of business. You know what I'm saying? So
like so essentially what I was gonna say, it was like for example, how Diamond has a cleaning service or whatever. Yeah. Believe it or not, like a cleaning service, I never thought like that's. I know it's a thing, but to see somebody that like looks like you, let's say the same complexions as you, environments or whatever, it's amazing. Wow, I funded a cleaning business. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of tough. So it's just like, it's still cool that you fund businesses. It's just like, I had to ask that because as you build your brand up, you start to encounter, oh, wow, that's cool. That's dope what you do. And it's different. So yeah, it's going to come. Yeah. That's tough that you fund lashes. That's tough.
Yeah,
that's
Airbnb
tough.
businesses.
That's tough.
Multiple different businesses.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So the one thing I like though with well, it's kind of how I weed everybody out, right? Is the transparency. So
agreed.
I had one guy. His name is Chris Campbell. Shout out to him. He gave like his story about like all the ups and downs, like like just with businesses, like failed businesses, stuff like that. And even with you, I see transparency and like you showing people like what you're doing, literally like step by step. Like, hey, I took this credit card and then I did this, then I did this, and then I did that. Right. So like, how important do you feel like the transparency is to that industry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say it's super important because a lot of people, they try to fake stuff on the internet.
You and I saw it firsthand.
Michael,
we're being too shady.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Diamond back there, she know.
Breeze, what did I tell you, man?
But
yeah, a lot of people, they try to fake stuff. Fake stuff for clout, and then once you actually tap in and you start to know them more, it's like this was a whole facade. Image that they were just putting up and stuff. So, transparency is 100% key. And that's why, like, another thing with my service, I don't charge up front to my clients as well, too, because I get paid based off of the results that I provide them. So, like, it creates 100% transparency. Like, yo, I'm not just looking to take your money up front for you to, start my process to get funded. It's like, I'm basically going to help you first. And for me helping you, I'll get paid last. So I'll take care of you first. And then in reward of that, I'll get treated last.
I like that right there.
All right, so I remember the question I wanted to ask you when I first mentioned. So you know how you said you get paid after that? Mm-hmm. Is there like a contractual agreement?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Because
when people hear like, how some people are always trying to get over on people. Like these are people that, I'm not saying that it's everyone, but I'm saying that.
No, it's true.
Originally, when I first heard you say that in the Royal Connections event, I'm like, yo, does somebody try to get over? But I'm like, there has to be like a contract or something.
You're dealing with sensitive information. You know where I live. You probably know what Social Security probably involved.
Yeah, that's cool. That's as long.
I'm not doing that unless
we
there's
gotta clarify that because people be thinking, I'm about to get. No, you're on contract, my brother.
I
won't sue you.
You do have some times where some people try to parlay and but it's like, once you bring back the contract, it's like nobody ever want to take it that route and stuff.
No, I will sue. I will sue you.
This is probably a crazy question to ask, but like, do the swipers hit you up?
Nah,
that's crazy.
Nah, I say no swipers zone over here.
No swiper.
Get out of here.
I'm not gonna lie though. The swipers sometimes they do be helping though.
The financial magicians. That's what I got.
Bro. I'm not encouraging this, bro. I'm not doing this.
Nah, like you know, Adam 22, like he makes up words to replace other words. That's why I gotta say it that way. Like,
that's tough though.
Definitely.
I was just curious. Cause it just hit me. I'm like, I wonder do they even try to get involved in this?
It would make sense, but nah.
Yeah.
I'm not about to jeopardize, my
No.
people and my business
But-
at the end of the day.
No, I'm
My
not.
name.
I mean, not even just you, but I'm saying in general. Like, have you heard stories like people like they be trying, or is that just something different?
Nah, yeah, I haven't heard no stories or nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
The
I
thing
was
is
just
though,
curious, that's
even if, but the thing is, because the reason why I say they be helping, because sometimes it's just about liquidating your money. But the beautiful thing about that is, once, all right, you ever Power, right? You know how Ghost was always trying to go legit, if that makes sense. I never watched Power Day.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say I
know
never
the
watched it
storyline.
either. I ain't gonna lie.
I know the
Yeah,
storyline.
you sound
to
like
an extent.
hypocrites right now.
But
like.
the thing is, I know the storyline to an extent. I'm not saying he was a swiper or whatever. I think it was a drug. I don't know. But the point is, when somebody's trying to go legit, sometimes, they need that jump, like you said, that jump start.
Yeah.
And when people want to change the areas of ways, they know all the tactics. Obviously, they're not going to do that to you because they know I've worked with swipers myself. And I know when they were serious
Damn,
about
not on camera, Mike.
No, but I could be honest about this though. Like the thing is, when they're liquidating their money, it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, I got the funding. I turned their money into also funding as well. I don't think I'm articulating it right now, but it's like when somebody's trying to go legit, they genuinely mean well. It's just that what they used to do is not what they're gonna do to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially when you really want to get serious about business and stuff like that, you can't do some crazy shit if you really want reputation and stuff like that. That's my opinion.
Yeah. A message to all the swipers out there.
Yeah.
Go legit.
No, gotta
Leverage
go
your
legit.
credit.
Go legit and leverage.
Leverage your
And
credit. You could get business funding easy
Leverage-
just like that. Same way how you swiping, you could go to the banks and get this, pull this out with your credit and go
Legally.
run them plays that you gonna swipe
The
with.
3 L's: legit, leverage, liquidate.
No, I'm Haitian. We guys have a phrase called the 3 L's, but that's a different
3
one.
L's, legit. Well, that's tough.
That's
Legit,
fire.
leverage, liquidate. I'm
He dropping
tough.
gems, man.
I'm tough. That was on the top. Off the top.
Yeah, what was I about to ask? I definitely had a legit question too. Damn, Mike, you made me forget.
Screw you.
Nah, I was gonna it was something. Oh, there we go. So going back to the transparency area too, like one thing I always thought like to myself when I first started hearing about like just credit and everything, I was like, so if everybody wants to get good credit so bad, why don't they just show us like what they also do with their? I'm not saying they have to, like for example, let's just say you did real estate. I'm not saying you have to go and show me how you use credit to get. I mean, I guess you could show me, but I guess all right. Let me rephrase that. So what I'm trying to say is like,
What do we use our funding for?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but at the same time, don't you like not pushing it on me.
Yeah.
So if I said, oh, John, well, how'd you use credit? You said, oh, I did on real estate. Not so much pushing it on me to do real estate, but what do you think I personally could have did it? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah, so like you basically trying to say like, okay, the people that are promoting business funding, they got the funding, but it's like, what are they doing with it? Yeah, so like for
like
me,
I've seen it with you, so I respect the transparency.
Yeah. So like for me, I've invested into multiple stuff, right? I've invested into like Amazon automations,
Tough.
drop shipping stores.
Tough.
I also invested into like, with the prop firm trading and stuff. That's how I got my funded accounts. I just swipe, my credit cards, and then with the withdrawals, pay it back.
Stop saying swipe. But yeah.
But another thing too is like paying my employees, right? So like I have a team. I have virtual assistants. I have assistants that work with me, and I pay them out of my funding, and then my business just pays the funding back off. And then also
That's
like my
tough, right?
marketing.
you got a plan.
I'm paying for camera equipment, paying for videographers, studio time as well. So like investing into my marketing because I know at the end of the day, marketing is what converts into sales, and then the sales is what brings you the money. So that's what I invest into, like my actual business of promoting the funding. So that's another way how I invest my funding.
Actually, I think you have one already, but are you thinking about doing like a course?
Yeah, so I do have a course as well, like for people that don't know anything about credit and need to start learning the basics, because that's what I would say before you jump into funding. You don't even know anything about credit. You need to learn the basics first.
Yeah.
So I have an ebook bundle teaching the basics about credit, showing people how to remove inquiries off their report, and showing them how to get access to funding once their report is where it needs to be at. And then I also have like a course where they will have access to me. You get like a one-on-one personal call. Basically a personalized plan of success where I'm literally telling you, okay, this is what you need to do for the next few months. And the course is like 30 minutes, hour long with like 20 videos. The video is like mad short. So literally going straight to the point, providing the value on what the important things and what you need to know when it comes to building credit and like the basic terminologies and stuff.
See, and I like how you said straight to the point, because like the viewers I know, they at home, they know how I feel about the course sales. I always tell them, oh, the course sales always try to teach you to alphabet to the topic. They're not
Bro,
gonna tell you like the
annoying.
meat and potatoes unless you pay an extra fee and all that.
that's
But like, well, for one, I definitely trust this guy, so he's legit in my eyes. I sanctioned it. But two, it's like, you know, getting to the nitty gritty, getting to like what matters.
Yeah.
That's what really, you know, separates yourself from everybody else. Because everybody, especially credit too, it's like, you know, not to knock the industry, but I feel like everybody just coming out the woodworks doing credit.
Yeah,
You
bro,
know?
I'm seeing that too.
Like
He
everybody
knows.
on Instagram,
He knows.
it's
Yeah,
going
I
back
see
to
it,
what I
man.
was saying. Everybody folding their arms on the flyer, like, you know.
Yo, you out of pocket.
Like the tax specialist too. Like you got like all these different industries where everybody just out the woodworks, just doing it like this. Even real estate.
Yeah, real
Mad
estate.
people
too,
want
yeah,
to do real estate, and
yeah.
it's like for what exactly, you know?
That's crazy.
Besides making money, but it's like when you talk to these high profile people that do this stuff.
Yeah.
Like for example, y'all know I love Max Maxwell. Like he says all the time, like, or even there was this other one guy, Maurice Philogene, something like that. But they always say like, yo, if you get into these industries for the sake of making money, you're not gonna succeed.
You're not gonna see it. That's
Because you're not
facts.
gonna know about.
That's
well,
facts.
first of all, you're not gonna have the motivation all that to keep going after a couple
facts.
L's, but you're not gonna know where to go because you're so focused on being locked into the money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's facts. The thing with the courses too, like you was talking about it, it was like there's only so many times you can explain basic words over and over and over and over again. Okay, explain it 1-2 sentences and then get into the point, and then more so because at the end of the day, it's all about. I said this on my page. Replay value. Replay value really, really matters. Like, okay, I can keep going back to this video if I feel stuck on. If I have to sit through 20 minutes of me learning another basic again, when I already know the basic, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying repetition is bad. We're not saying that, but. You see how you said like it's an hour-long course or whatever the case should be, and it's strictly 20 videos, but it's straight to the point. That's how it's supposed to be, man.
That's literally how it is.
Bro, courses, and I love courses. I just hate when people are, it's a money grab to them. I just hate when it's a money grab. Like, bro, this was the same information I just got off of Google, and I expected a more personal feel to this, and you didn't even give me that. And even if you did give me that, it was what, a minute?
Yeah.
A minute? This is not bad sex. I need more than a minute. Like, no, seriously, I'm so tired of courses, bro. Like, and Roman Reigns stole
What
that
really
from
be
me.
wrong, bro?
Roman Reigns stole that from me. Let's start right there.
Yo, nah, that's crazy, man.
Now another thing too, like to make it more personal, because that's something that I thought about too before like putting the course out there. I'm like, yo, how can I make this more personable to people
personal.
and not just like have them buy a course and just watch recorded videos and that's it. Well, now like I got a Discord community as well. And
That's
then-
also because
you're
you're a
so
trader, though.
tough.
Yeah. You know, other traders on Discord. You know,
Everybody's on Discord.
I love how you use those two parallel
I'm
worlds
glad you
together
brought
like
that.
that.
Everybody loves Discord.
Yeah, so like I have a Discord community as well, and then also like you have access to me as well too, like to be like your credit coach, advisor, mentor, or
So
whatever
tough,
when it
that's
comes to
tough.
building your credit profile, and then having access to me to get on a one-on-one call with you for like 30 minutes to an hour of my day. And your day is like, it's so much value because I'm literally giving you everything you need to do step by step.
You know?
And
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was gonna say, and I like that too, because it's like going back to transparency. This is legitimacy, you know.
Yeah.
Like there was this one guy. I remember he was a trader guy. He told my friend, he was like, yo, people come on Instagram and tell you they make millions of dollars trading every day, but they can't show you a Rolls Royce every day like I can.
Oh my
Right.
God.
And it's like it's in the same sense with you. It's like, you know, if I have access to you and like, you know, I seen you with the keys. I ain't gonna say what he got. I seen him with the keys, and if you follow my Instagram, you know what he got. But like, you
What
know,
keys?
hey, I know that too. But
Are
nah.
you talking about these keys?
Yeah.
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know
That's
what
what I'm saying.
saying?
I'm just saying. I thought it was under the table, but nah. But what's it called? I was saying like, you know, like when you have access to that person that's like always around you, and it's like you see what they're doing, like.
Yeah.
You know, even from a monetary standpoint, you see somebody back out 100K cash on you.
Yeah.
You see somebody just paid for the whole team dinner. It's like 30 people at a table. Like when you see that like in person, you're like, damn. Bro, like,
yes.
it hits different too, because it also inspires you to want to go get it too.
Yeah,
like,
hell
you know.
yeah.
Sure.
So it's like
Bro.
it's good that you have that relationship with your team. So like, you know, not only do they have access to you, but they also see like everything that he posting, everything he doing.
It makes
It's kind of
this
like with
legit.
music. Everything he rap about, like he actually living it.
He's
you know?
actually living it, yeah.
right.
And I wouldn't even want to give you your flowers because I told you this when I met you too. Like, I wish I had somebody like you when I was like hot, like in business. I was hot. I was making money beyond making money. And
Everybody knew Mike on Facebook.
bro,
I'll tell you that.
I was a genius. Like
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
NYC buying and selling kicks.
Craigslist, everything.
Just in general. Like,
in general, I
didn't matter where he
I
was.
was everywhere like a hoe. I was it's crazy.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. These
business
analogies are wild. Mike.
wild, but listen, they're telling the
You
story.
could have said
of,
like Dora or something. Like,
yeah,
you could have said like
works.
Eric Adams. Eric Adams.
Yeah, Eric Adams works too. But the thing is though, it's like when you have that somebody in your ear be like, nah, you could do more. You could do more. That's cool. And I looked at your page. Like I look at it. It's only 5 credit people I know, and you have joined that 5 credit people I know that when it comes to advice, I will sit down, I will fold my hands, I'll cross leg applesauce, and I'm listening.
No glass of wine.
No, gain a glass of wine. I'll give you an apple. That's how much you're teaching me. Like it's
I like that one right there.
literally legitimacy, transparency is everything to me because once it reflects that not only in content and what you do, you radiate that energy, people will flock to you. And that's easy business success 101, bro. You have to be legitimate and transparent. That's facts.
Yeah.
John Wyck for money for president, man.
Let's get it.
This camera's still good though, right, Rose? No. All right, just making sure. All right, so Mike. So in our last episode with Diamond, there was a question you asked, and John got very excited in the background.
I love this. This is my favorite.
So
question.
Mike, if you would do the honors with asking the $1 million question.
This is my favorite question. What is harder to be, staying creative or staying inspired, and why?
For me,
you had enough time to think about this.
Yeah, for me, I would say like staying creative would be harder because it's not hard for me to be inspired if I know what I want.
Put one on the scoreboard for me.
Y'all got a competition?
Yeah.
At this point, yeah, why not?
Inspired is winning, though.
It is. It definitely is. But
yeah, so I would say like staying creative would be harder because like for me the inspiration is already there because I know what I want out of life. You know, I know what I'm achieving and stuff. It's just more so, okay, what's the ideas, the creativity of the ideas for me to get to where I want to go. You know, so it's not like, a struggle for me to do what I have to do to put the work in for my business, like waking up to be motivated to go do my business. Like, nah, I wake up with that every day. You know, that's just naturally in me. It's just more so, okay, what ideas, what creativity, what reels, what type of content can I post to basically go ahead and put myself out there in front of more people. So for me, it's just more creativity because the inspiration is always there. Like, and anything that I do, like even when I was at IM, like I was so inspired.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm just a naturally driven, inspired type of person that once my mind is set on something, you know, I already see that goal, and I'm gonna just keep on doing what I have to do to get there. It's more so about the creativity behind what I have to do.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. All right, so
I respect that.
If there are any like upcoming ventures or like what should we expect next from John? Let me put it that way. Like, what should we expect coming from John Wyck next? Because it seems like you're all over the place right now, doing a lot of things. No, in a good way. Like,
yeah.
For me, like you're everywhere. You getting your hands in every industry.
Yeah.
You know?
So what you can expect next from me? You know, I'm on YouTube now, dropping trading content.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So
I did see that one video.
Yeah. So I just dropped a YouTube video the other day. You know, showing how I made like 8,000 trading gold in a day. So you can check me out on YouTube, like dropping my strategy as well. So I'm gonna be like more consistent dropping trading videos and whatnot. Cause eventually later on down the line, what I wanna do is I wanna create like a Discord where I put traders together with like the credit people. And then from there, like, you know, another section of that Discord, I want it to be like accountability. So like those are the 3 things that I wanna focus on is combining the credit with trading, but then also like accountability because I understand that your habits and your goals will play a big role into like, you know, having better credit because your credit is a reflection of you and your financial habits and stuff like that. Yeah. Same thing with trading. So, you know, focusing on those 3 pillars is what I eventually want to do later down the line and create like a community for, you know, trading, credit, and accountability. So TCA. That's later down the line though, not
TCA.
now. Yeah.
TCA.
TCA.
That's got a good ring to it. Got a good ring
Act. You put it backwards.
Oh, that's bad.
I want 10% for that.
Accounting for the
10% of every cent.
I want 10% for that.
No, accounting for the
It'll go to this podcast.
accounting for the credit
Sponsored by
and
John Wyck.
trading. Accounting for the credit and trading. Oh yeah, that got a good ring to it. Whatever way you make that.
Yeah.
Act is better. I like that.
Listen, as long as we get our credit, that's it. Oh, no pun intended.
Copyright. I just want
Got
copyright.
1%.
5. I cut it from
44.
10 to 5. I'll do 5.
44.
5 the lowest I'll go.
Get the contract.
But no, Ross, you did you still have a question you wanted to ask? Ross had questions earlier. You guys ask Offset? Yeah. All right, that's fine.
My boy, bro.
All right, so let everybody know where they could tap in with you at.
Yeah, you could follow me on Instagram at John Wyck, JOH, 2 N's, all right, and then Wyck, WYCK. Not like Wick, like the movie John
Or
Wick.
Shawnee Bin Laden.
Forget him, Keanu Reeves.
Free Shawnee, by the way.
So yeah, John Wyck on Instagram and then on YouTube as well. Same exact handle. And yeah, you could tap in with me on there and, look forward to working with you.
Yes, sir. So yeah, John Wyck, it was definitely a pleasure. This was long overdue. I feel like it was like January or February. I said, yo,
Really?
stay on.
February, yeah.
It was February. I was like, yo, stay on the
Really?
lookout for John Wyck. And then it's
Yeah.
like, fast forward, we finally got this done. So
Really? Wow,
it's a pleasure, my boy.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for
Yes,
having
sir.
me,
You
know
y'all.
what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so y'all know what to do as always, show love, tune in, especially if your credit ain't right, you know who to tune in with. And, from there,
He is what's
just-
cooking.
He definitely is.
He's what's cooking.
Yeah, and from there, just continue to do the normal. Share the video, like the video, subscribe if you aren't subscribed already.
Facts.
And show some love in his comments, drop the what's cooking emojis right here. And just like that, we
Yeah,
out.
if y'all came from What's Cooking on anything that I do, y'all get a little discount. So reach out to me.
Shout
All right.
outs to him. Shout outs to my
That's
boy
only
Ross.
if you watch the
feel
full
me? You
episode,
feel
though.
me?
That's only if you watch the full
Yeah,
episode.
because they
though.
had to watch to the end.
Shout outs to my boy Ross. Shout outs to my boy.
Yes, sir. Shout out, Ross, as always.